Are bananas good for hypertension? Hi, I'm Dr. Chan. I am a medical doctor from Singapore. Welcome to the Daily Dose. Today's topic is, are bananas good for hypertension? A question I often get asked. First, some background about bananas and high blood pressure. Bananas have somehow acquired this reputation of being good for people with high blood pressure because it is rich in potassium. So, people often think of eating bananas more regularly as one of the natural ways of lowering blood pressure. So, here is my answer whenever people ask me this question. Bananas, even though they are relatively rich in potassium, are not the answer. At least not a complete nor adequate one to one's high blood pressure problem. Because just like one should not solely depend on taking high blood pressure medications as the only way to manage hypertension, one should also not expect that just by adding foods such as bananas, however potassium rich they might be to one's diet, and expect that to be in itself adequate in managing one's problem of high blood pressure adequately and optimally enough. I have a framework outlining the 4 approaches that people take in lowering blood pressure naturally, and adding bananas to one's diet falls under approach number 3 in this framework. I have done a detailed video to explain these 4 approaches to lowering blood pressure naturally framework. I shall put the link in the description below. So, my answer to this question is, for people with hypertension, bananas are good to have, not a must-have. They are relatively potassium rich, although they are not the only foods that are rich in potassium. There are many other fruits and vegetables that are just as potassium rich. Also, one need to be mindful of the calories and carbohydrates content, as well as the glycemic index and glycemic load of bananas when one is planning to add bananas to one's diet more regularly. Lastly, some people with certain medical conditions need to avoid potassium-rich foods. Speak to your doctor or dietitian if you're not sure. I have a video on celery and hypertension. If you go substitute the word celery with bananas, every time I use the word celery in this video, you will get a more in-depth explanation of how I think we should see the role of bananas in the management of high blood pressure. Suggest that you go watch that video if you have not already done so. One should not depend on taking blood pressure medications as the only intervention for managing hypertension. Changing and improving one's lifestyle and eating habits holistically, comprehensively, and adequately must be the cornerstone of optimal management of hypertension. Adding foods that are purported to have some blood pressure lowering properties to one's diet, such as potassium-rich bananas, though helpful in some way, is in no way enough. So, if you have hypertension, I would strongly encourage you to holistically and critically review your entire eating habits. Identify areas that need changing and improving, and then act on it. If you have not watched my series of videos on lowering blood pressure naturally, I strongly suggest that you do so. It might give you new and helpful perspectives to what it means to lower blood pressure naturally and combating hypertension optimally through lifestyle and diet. So, if you have hypertension, add bananas to your diet if you want to, but no need to go bananas over bananas, because adding bananas to your diet is at best a good to do with some important caveats, but not a must do. Because reviewing and improving your entire lifestyle and diet is the must do if you really want to combat hypertension holistically and optimally. I hope you have found this video useful. I am Dr. Chan. Let habits be thy medicine. Let's unlock the power of habits as medicine, one habit, one dose at a time.